Hold still, sweetheart. Daddy's almost done.
Billionaire catches single dad janitor in the act and can't believe what she sees. It was 2:47 a.m. inside the towering glass headquarters of Redwood Innovations, one of the fastest growing tech companies in North America, when Eleanor Redwood, the billionaire CEO known for her icy confidence and unshakable standards, returned to the office unexpectedly. She had forgotten a confidential folder before her flight to London at sunrise. The building was dark, silent, and secured, except for a dim light glowing on the 16th floor. At first, she thought it was security doing their rounds. But when she stepped out of the elevator, she heard something else. A voice. Low, gentle, reading that Eleanor's heels clicked softly across the polished marble as she followed the sound. She paused at the entrance of the executive boardroom, and that's when she saw him. A janitor. A man in worn gray coveralls with tired eyes and shoulder-length hair that probably needed a trim. He sat cross-legged on the pristine carpet, a little girl bundled in a blanket beside him. She couldn't have been more than 7. Her small hand rested on his arm as she listened, half asleep, while her father read from a torn library book. He didn't notice Eleanor, not at first. And that's when the tiny ship sailed all the way home. He whispered, turning the page with careful fingers. The girl smiled, drifting off against his chest. No one had ever told Eleanor that a janitor sometimes brought his child to work. She was known for strict policy. No family on site. No exceptions. She stepped forward, and the man gasped, scrambling to his feet. Ms. Redwood. I'm so sorry, he stammered. What is this? She asked, though her voice was softer than she expected. My shift is overnight, he said quickly. My babysitter quit without notice, and I couldn't afford another. I didn't have a choice. I needed the hours. I needed the money. I know it's against company rules. Please, don't fire me. I'll leave right now. The little girl stirred, rubbing her eyes. Daddy? Is it morning? Not yet, sweetheart, he whispered, trying to gather their things. Eleanor noticed the backpack. Torn straps. School logo faded. What's your name? She asked. Daniel, he replied. Daniel Hart. And this is my daughter, Emma. Emma looked up at Eleanor with sleep-heavy eyes, then gave a small wave. Hi. Something in Eleanor shifted. She had grown up in boardrooms and private schools, raised by nannies, taught to calculate and control. And here, in her multi-million-dollar office, was a man doing everything he could for his child, even while scrubbing floors. Finish the story, she said. Daniel froze. Ma'am, you stopped reading, Eleanor replied. I'd like to hear how it ends. He hesitated, then slowly sat back down. Eleanor surprised herself by sitting too, on the carpet, next to a bucket of cleaning supplies. Emma curled back under her blanket as Daniel continued the tale of a brave sailor on a tiny ship fighting storms to return home. When he finished, the girl was asleep again. She likes that one, Daniel murmured. Why do you work nights? Eleanor asked. I work 2 jobs, he said. This one, in construction during the day when I can get a shift. Emma's mom, she passed 3 years ago. Cancer. I'm doing what I can. I know it's not much. Not much. The words tightened her chest. She quietly stood. Come with me. Daniel followed her through the corridor, confused and anxious. They entered the CEO's office, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city lights. Eleanor opened a secure cabinet, retrieved the folder she originally came back for, and then turned to him. Daniel, how long have you worked here? A little over a year. No complaints, no missed shifts, no disciplinary notes. You clean this building like it's your own. Yes, ma'am. What would you do? She said, leaning against her desk. If you didn't have to work 2 jobs? He blinked. I'd sleep, I guess. Cook real food. Walk Emma to school like the other parents do. Help her with homework. Be there. Eleanor nodded. Then, with the same steady voice she used when announcing acquisitions worth billions, she said, As of tomorrow, you are no longer on the janitorial staff. Daniel went pale. Please, Ms. Redwood, don't do this. I need this job. I'll never bring her again, I promise. You misunderstand, Eleanor interrupted. You're being promoted. He stared. Redwood Innovations has an opening in facilities management. Better hours, better pay, full benefits. His mouth trembled. I don't have the qualifications for that. We'll train you, she said. and Emma will receive a full scholarship to the Redwood Youth Academy, from now through college. Daniel covered his face with both hands. His breath broke. Why would you do that for us? Eleanor looked through the glass at the sleeping child on the office couch. Because I saw a man doing everything in his power to be a good father. And because I know what it's like, she whispered, almost inaudible, to grow up wishing someone had fought for me like that. Daniel's eyes lifted, stunned. Eleanor cleared her throat softly, regaining her poise. You will also have access to on-site after-school care when needed. No more hiding in boardrooms. Emma is welcome here. He tried to speak, voice cracking. I don't know how to thank you. You already did, she replied. You showed up. A silence settled between them, a quiet understanding. Daniel gently picked up his sleeping daughter, holding her close. Have a good flight, Ms. Redwood, he said finally. She nodded. Get home safe. As the elevator doors closed on father and daughter, Eleanor stood alone in the vast, quiet office. She glanced at the tiny blanket left on the couch, purple with silver stars, forgotten in their rush. She didn't move it. She let it stay there, a reminder that even in a world of glass towers and billion-dollar deals, there were battles more important than business. Somewhere far below, Daniel stepped out into the cold night, holding his little girl like the most priceless thing he owned. And in the sky above Redwood Innovations, dawn was just beginning to rise.